An Austrian brothel is now bribing men with hookers to take the Fauci ouchie. From 4 to 10 p.m. every Monday night, the Fun Palace Cat House is offering men a 30-minute sex session with the prostitute of their choice to take the jab. Now, I know what you're thinking. Traditionally, whorehouses have not been considered the pinnacle of public health. But these days, up is down and black is white. And so if the whole culture is turned on its head, why not give it a shot? It may not be the most moral way to promote inoculations, but say what you want about pimps and prostitutes, at least they're more honest than Dr. Fauci. This Austrian hooker story is real. This is a real, at first I thought, is it The Onion? Is it the Babylon Bee? No, it's a real story. Virtually every man I've told it to, by the way, I've said, oh my God, did you see this story about the Austrian brothel that's offering you hookers for the jab? Their response has been, oh my gosh, that's terrible, that's awful. Where is it? Where are you know, just out of curiosity, where can I find this sort of thing? This is not great. You'll cure COVID, but then you'll have an outbreak of some other problems. You might need some penicillin at the very least. What this shows you is, one, the vaccine is not particularly appealing to a lot of people. If the vaccine were appealing, then you wouldn't need to bribe people with hookers and cheeseburgers. Remember Bill de Blasio stuffing his face with the cheeseburgers? Eat the slop, pigs. Take the shot and we'll give you free slop. French fries. You remember that? Or bribe you with money in Ohio. If you let us inject you with this experimental drug, you could win $1 million. Okay, well, if the vaccine were appealing, you wouldn't need to bribe people and appeal to their basest passions and appetites. But then that would require the virus to be very, very scary, which it just is not for the vast majority of people. It doesn't pose much of a threat at all. And so people do not feel the need. If this were a bubonic plague breakout, you wouldn't need to bribe people to get the vaccine. And you certainly wouldn't need to appeal to the prurient interest and appeal to their basest passions. So it tells you a lot about the vaccine, and it tells you a lot about the pandemic, that the ruling class thinks they need to bribe you in this way. But it also tells you a lot about what they think of you. Because we all have a higher will and we have a lower will, right? The higher will is, I want to wake up early and go to Starbucks and do some work and work out and, get a head start on my week and fix up things around the house, and right, and cook dinner tonight, and right, that's the higher will, where you're doing things that are responsible, that you think are virtuous. Then you've got the lower will, which is, I want to go do a bunch of drugs and eat a bunch of cheeseburgers and go to the whorehouse, and right, that's the lower will, and you want to bring the lower will into discipline underneath the higher will so you can suppress those passions. And so they're not appealing to you with, if you get the jab, we'll give you a scholarship to take a course on ancient literature. If you get the jab, we will, we will help you in some way to improve your life and to flourish and to pursue virtue and to, no, we're going to give you something that is base, that is low, that is, in this case, sinful, or that is vicious, that appeals just to your most basic, most common, low desires, because they think that is the will that controls you. You're actually not in control of your appetites. A free people doesn't get duped this way. Okay, it's not just the Austrian brothel gimmick. It's the money, it's the cheeseburgers, it's the punishment, it's that we're going to hurt you, we're going to get you fired, we're going to take your money if you don't do it. A free people is not dealt with that way. But increasingly, we're not a free people because we've given ourselves over to our lusts and our passions and our ignorance and our fears and everything that the left has been ginning up since at least the 1960s. And it tells you not just what they think of you, it tells you how they rule you. It tells you how they govern you. Everyone talks about 1984, but this is a lot more like Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, which is about a dystopian future where the people are enslaved, not through pain, but through pleasure, through drugs and promiscuous sex and fleeting pleasures and not the real good stuff, not the higher stuff, but all the lower stuff. That is how they rule you. Okay, and it seems nice for the moment because you want the cheeseburger or you want the free money or you want the hooker or whatever, but it's not going to fulfill you. It's not going to lead to a flourishing life. It's not going to lead to a flourishing society. There are reasons why people don't want to get the vaccine. It's not just stupidity. It's not just ignorance. It's not just because they're anti-science. It's because there are side effects. They had to pause the Johnson & Johnson vaccine because women were dying from blood clots, okay? It's because the FDA and the CDC have admitted that there are risks of heart inflammation, myocarditis, pericarditis in young, healthy people. It's because there are religious objections, and because all of the vaccines were developed with fetal stem cells, aborted babies, and some were produced with them as well. There are plenty of real objections. Glad you liked that clip, but hold up, don't go anywhere, ring that bell, subscribe. Now, even still, you might not get those notifications, so what I would really recommend you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, type in The Michael Knowles Show, subscribe, leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next time.